old with short hair.
And that looks like you now.
We're a family of 5. We have 3 children, our twins Isaac and Evie, who are 8, and our eldest, who is 12, Elijah, and we have our lovely golden retriever Asher too.
Look at you two.
The twins were about 3 weeks old when they became ill with what we thought was just quite a bad cold, and they just sort of were very, very bunged up. Not feeding particularly well, not sleeping particularly well. They weren't quite right, were they? And so we decided to check with the GP. He came out and he checked them over. He reassured us that they actually were okay and that we were doing all of the right things.
For the humans to get in.
After about 3 days, their temperatures were kind of rising and we weren't really sure. And so I contacted the GP again. But within minutes of walking into the GP's surgery, they just took one look at Isaac and said, he needs to go to hospital now. The main focus at that point was on Isaac because he really, really was very poorly by this point and barely breathing. He'd gone completely blue, which is a colour I don't think I'll ever forget. It was quite frightening, really. A specialist team from Southampton came and they would need to take him to theatre. In the meantime, Evie was now moved to a ward where she was with my dad, and they were keeping her under a close eye and on oxygen. Once he came out of the theatre, we were then told he would need to go straight to another hospital. He was taken straight to the paediatric intensive care unit.
I think we both felt quite dazed and confused at this point because we didn't really know what was going on.
I don't think we really found out until we got his discharge papers. So by this point he'd been moved to the first hospital again for a few days just to get him, you know, feeding and all of that. And when they gave us the discharge paper, I read bronchiolitis with overwhelming sepsis. We had never heard of bronchiolitis or RSV. We hadn't had anything through antenatal classes or any information given to us by the health visitor. And now that we're aware, we understand that most children can be treated at home effectively. And in our case, both children were hospitalised. Evie for a few days on oxygen, and Isaac obviously is much more of a severe case that he's then developed into sepsis. Obviously the key thing is trust your instincts if your child's not well, and also just be mindful of who you're allowing to visit your children maybe in the very early stages.
Yeah.
Being a little bit more mindful about hygiene and if you're allowing someone into your house that may have a cold already. The twins now are...
They're thriving.
Yeah, thriving.